This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so let's wrap up this Diddy trial for day 8. Day 8. Well, how many days is it going to be till Diddy folds? Because I think he's close. A lot of people are getting on the stand. This is a lot. There's a lot to go through. All right, hold on one second. All right, so let me get right into this. Sorry, I just saw a video of some TikToker getting arrested. Well, OnlyFans girl getting arrested in the UK. UK's wild. Okay, so let's see. So we left off with we had Homeland Security, and George Kaplan took the stand too. George Kaplan's still on half an hour on direct tomorrow. AUSA said, so maybe there's more. Anyways, no unwise to angle for immunity before testifying to federal court about buying MDMA. Okay, this is for the assistant, one of the assistants of Diddy at one point. All right, so why is this? Here it is. All right, let's get down to where we left off. And I think Diddy will fold by week 4 into a plea deal. That's what I think, but we'll see. All right, so Combs, people might go to civil war over a little money, right? All right, so let's get right here. Your Honor, we've emailed you exhibit over the break. We object to hearsay. The judge will pick up after Dr. Hughes. Please get her back in the stand. Jury re-enters, okay? Then they cross-examine her, ask her that, she doesn't really know about Cassie and Diddy, so they kind of like, with the doctor, they get her, they pack her up. Combs' lawyer, Diddy's lawyers pack her up like, she didn't even really know anything about Cassie and Diddy, so like, she's just in here just talking openly just about the kind of abuse Diddy does and how the effect on the person. But they made the case that, hey, it's a case-by-case basis, right? And she's like, well, technically. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. She shouldn't have came in. They wasted $6,000 to have her come in and, talk about this stuff. Because that's how much she charged. Okay, so then the judge said, jurors leave. Then they said, Mr. Shapiro submitted an exhibit, now reviewing a document. The government says it should show this witness has a bias. So there's a new juror. It should be, this witness has a bias. Okay, then it says she could be shown the document about training domestic videos, advocates, and asked if she remembers, but it won't be the same as evidence. Witness re-enters the jury. Combs Bach. Does this document refresh your recollection, Dr. Hughes? Let me look at more closely. Yes. The fourth part is navigating cross-examination, right? Most of your income comes from court-related work, right? She says, no, maybe half. You've raised your rate to $600. It has been the same for some time, but you've raised it. It's really $6,000. Okay, I don't know why they keep writing 600. But you've raised it. And then it says, commensurate with others. She says, you've been retained hundreds of times, but you've never come into court and testified in defense of a man accused of a sex crime. She said, that's correct. I don't evaluate offenders. Then Combs' lawyer says, you met with prosecutors 6 times to prepare your testimony, right? She says, correct. Can we have a sidebar? Then the judge and everybody has a sidebar. They're back. Then Diddy's lawyer says, did you discuss the topics with the prosecutors? They said, she says, with due respect, it was mostly about educating them. Then Diddy's lawyer says, but you know nothing about the case. You were advising them on how to present evidence in domestic violence cases. Then Combs' lawyer says, didn't you help them write briefs? And then the government says, can we have a sidebar? The judge says, yes, but let's keep it brief, shorter than the last. Then it says, sorry, that it wasn't shorter, Miss Steiner. And then it says, government Mitzi Steiner says, you reviewed some filings to the court for this case. It was all related to the subject of your expert testimony, right? She said, the doctor says, yes. The government says, in fact, we redacted. He says, you did. And it says, you were a board member, certified forensic psychologist, right? She says, yes. Government, how many of those are in the New York State? She says, I think about 40. My gosh. Move on from this doctor. Then they say, recross. Diddy's lawyer says, your defense work is almost entirely for victims of domestic violence, right? She says, I'm not sure if that's true. Diddy's lawyer says, you worked with Mr. Brian Steele, who was defending a woman charged with reacting to domestic violence, right? She says, yes. It says, and Mr. Steele decided to not use you after meeting with you. Judge says, move on. Then the Diddy's lawyer says, no further questions. Judge says, next witness. The next the government calls George Kaplan. When did you work for Diddy? Kaplan says 2013 to 2015. What fell under that holding company? So clothing, liquor, entertainment. I was executive assistant to the chief operating officer. Where did you work? 1710 Broadway, New York City. So you worked for Bad Boy. What was your next position? He says, executive assistant to the chairman, Mr. Combs, from September 2014 to September 2015. So 1 year. Who did you report to? It says, Miss Quorum, KK. She essentially ran Mr. Combs' life. Jeez, how many people ran Diddy's life? Where did you report? L.A. What did you do? Carried his bags, made such things to where he wanted them. As he trusted me, he had me around more. I'd set up hotel rooms. How many hours a week? 80 to 100 hours a week. How much did you get paid? $125,000 a year to start. What'd you do in the morning? Make sure everything was in the bathroom, the breakfast cooked. He was recording a mixtape, so we worked late. Government. Who was security? Uncle Polly, D-Rock, and Ruben. Later, licensed security in the second half of 2015. Government. How frequently did you communicate with Mr. Combs? Multiple times a day. Things could be found in the back, an iPad, drugs, whatever. Did he threaten you? He says, he threatened my job. How often? Maybe monthly. He'd say he was only to be surrounded by the best people and that he wasn't. For example, he went me for a liter of water and I brought back 2.5 liters. He said no. You know, I've witnessed this. If you ever went to, and I know it's pause, they call it Daddy's house, right? Diddy would have people cleaning the glass hourly. I'm talking about the glass between the recording room and the boardroom. Hourly. On the hour. And water would be changed and food would be changed on the hour. It was crazy. I was thinking, oh, he's militant. He was just being controlling. Then he says, in what cities did you set up hotel rooms? He says, L.A., New York, Miami. In L.A., Mr. C, Bel Air, the Intercontinental, AUSA in New York. He says, Trump by Columbus Circle. In Miami, the SLS. There's an SLS in Miami? So, Miami. I thought there was an SLS just in L.A. Yeah. SLS South Beach. Alrighty, explain. Did you ever clean up? Not hotel staff. It was implied to protect his image. I was keen on doing that. Then they say explain. Objection. This is the government asking him all this stuff. And he says, I found hotels would sell photos to newspapers to shame guests. Did he reach out to you from the room? For food, clothes, and sometimes drugs. I did it. What drugs? Drop kit. Illegal drugs? They object to the term illegal. What other drugs? Advil, ketamine. What did he ask for? I picked up drugs for him, MDMA. Who asked? Mr. Combs in L.A. and Miami. In Miami, Mr. Combs asked me to call a person. He came and gave me a bag of pills, MDMA. I gave him cash. I gave the pill. I would never do this job. This is crazy. This is like how you get locked up for Diddy. And in LA, he says, I went out to and met in person in Hollywood. I gave money. He gave me the bag. Then they break for the day. That's it. So the proffered email chain is about Gina, and Gina is out of the case. She's not coming. Oh, wow. So Diddy's girlfriend Gina's not coming. She's in the indictment. The proffered email chain. Wait, there's more. So Diddy's lawyer says the proffered email chain is about Gina, and Gina is out of the case. She's not coming. The government says she's in the indictment. They said they could get her. They could get her here. They're choosing not to. I'll submit a letter by 10 p.m. Tomorrow, Kid Cudi is gonna get on the stage. He was gonna go today. I guess he's gonna go tomorrow. Kid Cudi tomorrow. That's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to that one. Anyways, we'll see how this goes. Jeez, Diddy really just has his kids going to court just for like appearances. I wouldn't put my kids through this. I don't have any kids, but I wouldn't want to put kids through this. You know, I know they want to show their support and everything, but dude, this is a lot. It's Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button. I'll check you guys in the next one.